Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Deniches and welcome back to Spooktober Day 30. So, 2 days left until 31st. Um, well, technically tomorrow is already 31st, so yeah. Um, is there anything I want to say before we actually jump into the discussions today about ghost? No, I guess. Well, actually, yes. As you can see, the time is now 1:35 p.m. I recorded this just after the previous one, and I took a break like an hour or so, something like that, to prepare for lunch. I cooked myself some omelette and basically noodle, eggs, and rice, which is not the best food because just how unbalanced it is. Like noodle is obviously carbo, and then eggs is I guess a little bit of protein there, and then with rice as well, which is another carbo. So I guess that's not healthy to be eaten. But hey, I just use what I have, right? Can't really complain that much. But there you go. That's what I ate. I don't think there's anything else. Well, apart from my throat that's a little bit oily because of the omelette, I might do a little bit of coughing here and there just because, yeah, like it's a little bit too oily again. It's really unhealthy to eat stuff like that. But I guess once every a while, it's fine. But yeah, I guess as for the, like it is basically in the afternoon, right? Daytime still, and it's actually very hot outside. Um, Still, the sun still shines really bright. The room's a little bit warm, just like usual. But it's fine. I have like a fan in the background, um, like about 10 feet away from me. Like 15 or 20 feet away from me, I guess. And it's just there chilling basically. You might hear that as well in the back sound, but I don't think so because I noticed that apparently this thing over here, the YouTube, is actually like canceling the noise from the background. So I guess that's a great thing for me anyway. Um, yeah, like if they hear noise in the background, they kind of faded out that a little bit. So yeah, it's like automatically edited the video as well. But yeah, I guess we can just start now discussing about ghost. Since we talk about like ghost entity like a lot of times now, however, we don't really actually know what ghost is, right? Like we never actually talk about ghosts. We mentioned that like anywhere else, but we never actually talk about it. I guess it's kind of better to just wrap up October with ghost. Um, Towards the end of October anyway. So yeah, what is ghost? Ghost is the soul of spirit of a dead person or animal that can appear to the living. In ghost lore, descriptions of ghosts vary widely from invisible presence to translucent or barely visible wispy shapes to realistic lifelike forms. The deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of a deceased person is known as necromancy, or in Spiritism as a seance or shans. I don't know how to pronounce that. Other terms associated with it are apparition, haunt, phantom, poltergeist, shade, specter, spectre, spirit, spook, wraith, demon, and ghoul. Okay, so yeah, basically ghost is spirit, right, or soul that can appear to the living. That's interesting because um, so ghost is basically the one that is seen, and if it's unseen, then it's probably I don't know demon. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Uh, I mean, it's also described as like this one invisible presence as well, right? To translucent, like barely visible. It means right, like there is a like shadowy figure, right? But you can't really make up like what it is, right? I guess that's ghost. Um, well, obviously, like a lot of like in terms of ghosts, then like according to many lores or cultures, ghosts can be described like like differently from one culture to another, right? So like it's not something that is fixed in form, right? It's just like I guess like the basic definition of ghost is basically just spirit of the dead, right? um like either they are invisible, either they are visible. As long as it is a soul or spirit of the dead, then it is ghost, right? Also, yeah, for here as well, like other terms, I guess, like in any other culture, they call that as like apparition, demon, ghoul, like wraith as well, poltergeist as well, like from the movie, I guess. Yeah, phantom, shades, whatever, right? Oh, there is painting over here. Engraving of the Hammersmith Ghost in Roger Kirby's Wonderful and Scientific Museum, a magazine published in 1804. The ghost turned out to be an old local cobbler who used a white sheet to get back at his apprentice for scaring his grandchildren. So I guess old man just messing around with children then. Yeah, there you go. The belief in the existence of an afterlife, which we already cover, as you can see over there, there is purple color because we actually have mentioned there, as well as manifestations of the spirits of the dead is widespread, dating back to animism of our ancestor worship. In pre-literate culture, certain religious practices, funeral rites, exorcism, which we already covered, and some practices of spiritualism and ritual magic are specifically designed to rest the spirits of the dead. Ghosts are generally described as solitary human-like essences, though stories of ghostly armies and the ghosts of animals rather than humans have also been recounted. They are believed to haunt particular locations, objects, or people they were associated with in life. Not sure why this is purple. I think this is like haunted house, because locations, right? I think so. According to 2009 study by the Pew Research Center, 18% of Americans say they have seen a ghost. Oh, 18%. That's actually a lot of people um, that said that they had seen ghosts. Although, um, if you ask me, are they real? Well, I guess if it is about spirits of the dead, then yeah, sure, obviously. But um, I guess I never really seen one. Not that I'm aware of. Maybe in like dreams. I don't know. I never encountered one honestly. Like maybe just in movies or games, but not personally in real life. Hopefully not because I don't want to deal with those kinds of stuff. But do I believe it? Yes. Do I want to see it? It depends. Well, depends on what beliefs. Like how I'm believing it, right? Because my friend that can actually that said that she could actually see ghosts. Um, Apparently they are not um they're like human, however they have like deformed features, so like she described them as like imperfect human, basically, like sometimes their arms are very long, sometimes like they appear to be like bloody, like full covered in blood, and like scary, right? But sometimes also they just looks like regular human, right? um if that's the case, then probably not, because she also said that every time a new person like got introduced into the ghost, she said that the ghost actually will like surround that person, and yeah, like basically will surround that person, and sometimes it said that these kinds of ghosts also I guess are doing some pranks as well, like a welcome greet or a greeting or welcoming, basically basically like, hey, you can see us, then like the ghost calls the other ghosts to come and surround, right? And obviously not all of them looks perfect, right? Like I said, like deformed stuff. And she said that the first time person saw this kind of stuff, like the odds are two, they passed out or they will just like regretting the choice, right? Yeah, I guess in that specific case or belief, then I don't want to see them. um but yeah, like again, she said that if you cannot see, and then um like the person that can do it, and try to open your third eye, and you can see it, and like basically the spirit surrounding you will notice that you can see them, right? Like I said again, then they will invite more ghosts to come surrounding you, and like basically you got jump scared, like we discussed yesterday. Yeah, this ghost kind of make jump scares as well to people, in according to her description, right? But yeah, there you go. um the overwhelming consensus of science is that there is no proof that ghosts exist. The resistance is impossible to falsify, and ghost hunting has been classified as pseudoscience. Well, then again, just because it doesn't visible to your eye doesn't mean it's not existed, right? Like there's a lot of things like this, right? If you look at the sky and you don't see any other planets, it doesn't mean that Earth is the only planet, right? Like you just see it from far away, right? Like if you use telescope, then you can see, right? And then just because you cannot really see virus or bacteria or microorganism doesn't mean that they don't exist, right? You just don't see it. Like you need tools, right? Basically like microscope, and then you can start seeing them. I guess it's the same as that. Like just because you cannot see ghosts doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Maybe you just need another tool, right? You maybe not need yeah, like a tool to see them, basically. I don't know, like maybe glasses or something like that. I don't know, right? Maybe they appear because again, I think according to metaphysics, this entity actually is you know they exist in some kind of frequency, and you can actually talk to them kinda through similar frequency, right? And that's why I think when what is it called again? um, that looks like radio that will catch signals, I would say, that are in the same frequency as the ghost, then they can actually talk to you, right? But obviously I cannot really say that if it's true or not, right? Theoretically speaking, it is like that. But I never really I never really encounter real life stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, again, like doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? Just because you cannot see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, I mean. So yeah, despite centuries of investigation, there is no scientific evidence that any location is inhabited by spirits of the dead. Well, it's also because that well, obviously according to belief, right? But what I'm understanding is that um I mean, they really don't hunt a place, right? They hunt people. So, I guess it also according to scientific evidence, like what location, right? Um, have you tried all places on Earth, or just taking samples, right? Maybe come to my country, then you will probably found lots of places that are considered as sacred, right? Like a place where the ghost likes to hang out, right? Like in graveyard, in big trees, in empty house or something like that, right? And just come and visit yourself, have a stay for overnight, and just feel it by yourself, right? But yeah, historically, certain toxic and psychoactive plants, such as whose use has long been associated with necromancy and the underworld, have been shown to contain anticholinergic compounds that are pharmacologically linked to dementia, as well as histological patterns of neurodegeneration. Okay, so I think what they're trying to say is that because of these plants, they kind of messed up with their heads, and therefore they imagine stuff, right? Therefore, making up the ghosts, right? Although they are not real, they're just under the effects of these plants, right? Like maybe you can say like mushroom as well, right? Like consuming certain mushroom will get you effects like you are using drugs, right? Um, and then you'll become, you will start fantasizing stuff, as well as like imagining stuff, right? Maybe like they're trying to say that this is that, right? Recent research has indicated that ghost sightings may be related to degenerative brain disease such as Alzheimer's disease, right? Now they are starting to connecting stuff or reaching out stuff with disease, right? This case, Alzheimer. Count prescription medication and over-the-counter drugs such as sleep aids may also, in rare instances, cause ghost-like hallucinations. Yeah, yeah. Like basically everything that they mention over here is that ghosts are not real. Um, the effects of medicines, plants, or drugs that you are using are real, and those makes up all this fantasy, right? Like all these hallucinations, basically. In folklore studies, ghosts fall within the motive index designation E200 to E599, ghosts and other revenants. Okay, don't know what that means, but all right. So yeah, like like if you have like modern mindset, then yeah, sure, it'll be difficult for you to believe that ghosts are real, ghosts exist. However, like like it is hard to believe, right? I'm also having difficulties, but I still think that they are real. Like there exists other realm, stacking on top of our realm, which is this real world, right? Like taking the same place but in different realm, right? So like and maybe sometimes these realms like colliding to each other, right? Making one appear to the other realm, and like maybe making the other realm also appears to our realm, right? um so yeah, there's that. Um i not that I have proof for that. I just like that concept, right? That there are realms stacking on top of us. So that's like um fun concept to think of, right? I don't know if that will be real or not, but at least there's the thoughts, right? Like it's like when you watch movies, you don't really think, oh, this really cannot happen in real life, right? Well, yeah, that's the point, because it's to entertain, right? But what if, right? Like, what if it actually happened? So like I guess it's similar to that as well. Like yeah, like like we can think that these realms are all fictional, but then again, what if it is, right? It will be more interesting that way, right? Terminology: the English word ghost continues all Old English ghast, I guess ghastly, stemming from Proto-Germanic geistas. It is cognate with Old Frisian. Okay, so this is all basically all the pronunciations, like the history of the word ghost, right? Okay, so it's from German then. All right. Besides denoting the human spirit or soul, both of the living and the deceased, the Old English form word is used as synonym of Latin spiritus, also in the meaning of breath or blast from the earliest attestation. Okay. So yeah, it's basically the word, the origin of the word, right? The word, I mean. Okay, typology. What is this? really from a card funerary Lykitos at Athens, showing Hermes as psychopomp conducting the soul of the deceased, Myrine, into Hades. Okay, anthropological context, a notion of the transcendent, supernatural, or numinous, usually involving entities like ghosts, demons, or deities, is a cultural universal. So yeah, that's basically all the cultures over here, right? Like the origins, ghosts, and the afterlife. Although the human soul was sometimes symbolically or literally depicted in ancient cultures as a bird or other animal, it appears to have been widely held that the soul was an exact reproduction of the body in every feature, even down to clothing the person wore. This is depicted in artwork from various ancient cultures, including such works as the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which shows deceased people in the afterlife appearing much as they did before death, including the style of dress. Okay, so that's according to Egyptian. Fear of ghosts. Okay, there's this one. Yurei, Japanese ghost from the Hyakai Zukan. Okay, 1737. That's actually very long time ago. Um, while deceased ancestors are universally regarded as venerable and often believed to have a continued presence in some form of afterlife, the spirit of a deceased person that persists in the material world, a ghost, is regarded as an unnatural or undesirable state of affairs, and the idea of ghosts or revenants is associated with a reaction of fear. This is universally the case in pre-modern folk cultures, but fear of ghosts also remains an integral aspect of the modern ghost story, gothic horror, and other horror fiction dealing with the supernatural. Okay, common attributes. They are composed of a misty, airy, or subtle material. Okay, anthropologists link the idea to early beliefs that ghosts were the person within the person. Okay. Um, Most noticeable in ancient cultures as a person's breath, okay, which upon exhaling in colder climates appears visibly as a white mist. Oh, okay, that's basically when you go to colder area and then your what is it like? Yeah, like basically your breath, like the vapor, I guess, like the air, like the water vapor, I guess that kind of condensates, becoming the mist, right? So it's like, um, like the gas, it condensates basically because of the cold temperature. That's why the smoke coming out of your breath, right? But yeah. Uh, Okay. Oh, I see. That's probably why it was breath, right? Like as we know in the first up there, I think the word comes from the word breath, right? I guess that's it. Like but that's not ghost, right? That's scientifically proven to be your air condensates, right? Because your body is warm and then it got released into a surrounding that has lower temperature, and then the water vapor that are in your breath begins to condensate, right, creating the mist basically. So yeah, uh, in many traditional accounts, ghosts thought to be deceased people looking for vengeance. Okay, so like they are in revenge, right, or imprisoned on earth for bad things they did during life. The appearance of ghosts has often been regarded as an omen or portent of death. Seeing one's own ghostly double or fetch is a related omen of death. Okay, the White Lady in Eastern Connecticut. Okay, white ladies were reported to appear in many rural areas. Actually, this also appears in my folklore as well. Like, the ghost is usually depicted as a woman or man with a white dress, from like top to bottom. They wear like I don't know what it's called, like like the shirt connects, right? It's not like they wear t-shirt and then like shorts or pants, not like that. It's actually one whole clothes from the top to bottom. I don't know what it's called, like dress basically, um, and their skin is a little bit pale, sometimes dark as well, like as my friend said, right? Not that I have seen one, but at least that's what like the society here, how they describe ghosts, right? Like these white ladies, and then they have like a long hair as well. And yeah, I guess there's that. Also, they float and they don't actually walk like human. They just float, and fly wherever they want. So yeah, supposed to have died tragically or suffered trauma in life. White lady legends are found around the world. Common to many of them is theme of losing a child or husband and a sense of purity as opposed to Lady in Red, ghost that is mostly attributed to a jilted lover or prostitute. Oh, okay. Associated with an individual family line or regarded as harbinger of death, similar to a banshee. Okay. Okay, depicted as being covered in a shroud and or dragging chains. Not in my place. We don't really see them dragging chains. Basically, maybe that's like in other places as well. But yeah, they wear like a shroud basically as well. Like those dress from top to bottom, right? Um, okay, local place where ghosts are reported is described as haunted and often seen as being inhabited by spirits of deceased who may have been former residents or were familiar with the property. Okay, history, let's see. Oh, this one's just the history, I guess, from Egyptian. And then, what is this? Where is this again? Like Greek? Well, yeah, Greek over here, right? And then Roman Empire as well. And then ancient Romans believe a ghost could be used to exact revenge on enemy by scratching a curse on a piece of lead or pottery and placing it into a grave. Oh, so they use this as I guess to attack someone. I guess. But okay. And then Middle Ages, yeah, obviously, right? In the Europe as well. There's also Dark Ages or something like that, which we actually covered in the previous episode, I think. When we talk about the uh, witch trials, right? I guess they kind of like ghost as well. I'm not entirely sure, but all right. European Renaissance to Romanticism, okay. Modern period of Western culture. Okay, interesting. Spiritualism is a monotheistic belief system or religion postulating a belief in God, but with a distinguishing feature of belief that spirits of the dead residing in the spirit world can be contacted by mediums who can then provide information about the afterlife. So, then you can like talk to them, right? Talk to the dead, like maybe using the Ouija board or something like that, right? Actually, in my country, there is also similar term like Ouija board, but it's kind of different, but it's still basically the same. So in my country, you use like a stick that got attached with marker. So just a stick, right? And then you put like another stick, but it's horizontally. Like you make like a cross, right? And then on top of that, you put like coconut husk, and then like you put some dress into it as well, and then like you grabbing the marker, right, with someone else, like just like the Ouija board, right, and then you start inviting, chanting, something like that, and then later that your hand will start moving and you will start writing something, right. Well, in Ouija board, I think they will like say something, but um, by showing the letters, right? But here in my country, the thing actually writes, right, using our hands, because we hold that marker, right? So like basically the thing will make us move, make our hand move, as well as moving the marker as well, and then the marker will say something in the paper, on the paper basically. So yeah, there's that. I guess it's kind of the same, right? Like using medium, right? In that case is the Ouija board, and in my case, or in my country's case, using the marker, right? Which got attached to like some kind of mini scarecrow, right? But yeah, scientific view argued that sightings of ghosts were the result of optical illusions. Um, I guess there is that as well. On hallucinations or the rational history of apparitions, dreams, ecstasy, magnetism, and somnambulism, which he claimed sightings of ghosts were the result of hallucinations. Well, I guess like like every single scientific research so far basically just said that it is hallucinations, right? It is an effect of something else, right? Like maybe drugs, maybe medicines, side effects, or maybe certain plants, right, that can cause you to hallucinate, basically. So yeah, like so far, their scientific research always go into that direction, right? But okay. Uh, Suggested that ball lightning could cause inanimate objects to move erratically. Okay, so that's another scientific, right? Like ball lightning, I guess. Um, okay, here we go, right? This one, ball lightning, it basically can moves, right? Move something. Okay, I guess there's that and everything else over here. By religion, here we go. Judaism and Christianity. Um, okay, I guess this is based on religion as well. I don't think I'm going to read all of this because I think we've already been like talking about this for half an hour now, which I don't want to make it a little bit too long, right? By culture, African folklore over here, European folklore, South and Southeast Asia, as well as East Asia as well, I think, North India, Bengal and East India, Thailand. Oh, yeah, this one, right? I mean, not funny. It's actually quite terrifying, to be honest. So it's just basically a head of female and then their innards, right? I guess this is also a thing in my country as well. Like the urban folklore also depicts something like this as well as a type of ghost, like as a variant of ghost, right? I think in Japanese also similar to this as well, but yeah. Um, Not sure why Thailand is not is in its own separate type because they are clearly in Southeast Asia, right? But whatever. And then Tibet as well. Austronesia, okay. East and Central Asia over here, okay. So there you go. Central Asia is China, right? And then Japan in the East Asia, okay. Americas, okay. Mexico, here we go. Oh, this one looks like the one in the movie Coco, I think. But yeah, United States belief in haunted house, ghosts, communication with the dead, and witches had an especially steep increase over the 90s. Found that about 32% of Americans believe in ghosts. Oh, okay. Um, it increased as it says, but 32%, that's actually quite low, honestly. Um, I guess like people in America doesn't really believe this kind of stuff. I mean, it also makes sense, right? Um, by makes sense, I mean like you don't really care stuff like this, right? Like, um, like since like like this is not real, basically, right? I can kind of notice that because again, like in most horror movies anyway, like like US horror movies, it always begins with the character doesn't believe this kind of stuff, right? And then stuff start to happen, and then they got terrified or scared, and then something happened, and then they believe that ghosts exist, right? Like it's just in general movie. Um, but then again, like I said, right? It's kind of quite difficult to prove that they exist, right? Because like how? I'm not entirely sure as well myself. depiction in the arts, I guess this is all the arts including ghosts in it, I guess. um, and then metaphorical usages. Okay, okay, so there you go. um, and that's about it, I think. Yeah. Okay, references, and then okay, that's a lot of references. It keeps going and going. 100 and more. Okay, that's a lot of things. 145. And then bibliography as well, and then for the reading as well, for the books if you're interested in that. But yeah, I think that'll be it for today's discussion about ghosts. Again, do I believe it? Well, yeah, kinda. Have I ever seen one? No. But I still believe it exists, because I just like the like the concept of there are multiple realms in this world, right? I guess there's that. Do I want to see one? No, thank you. I don't think so, because I don't know. I just not for me, I guess. I don't want to randomly get scared in my own house, right? So yeah, there you go. Um, what else? I guess there's that all that I can say about ghosts. I can't really prove they exist, but I had a friend, basically, like a female friend from high school. Like, she could see this kind of stuff, right? And then I doubt that she actually lied. I just believe that she spoke the truth about that. I guess. So yeah, I guess that's about it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. Um, in the last day of October, which is 31st one. Tomorrow we will discuss about Halloween. And I don't know, by the looks of things, maybe we'll discuss like a lot of things potentially. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this has been day 30. Actually enjoying the whole thing. Like October, it's all about horror stuff, right? Like Spooktober, something spooky. And yeah, like so far we have discussed a lot of things, like things that may or may not be fictional, and then as well as real life stuff as well, right? Like, I also put a little bit of science there, like when we talk about kinetic energy, right? Which is spooky, to be honest. Like, you riding vehicles, driving cars, like you hold powers within you, right? And then accidents will release those power into something else, and that's kind of spooky if you ask me. And then we also talk about real life issues as well, like the home invasion, and then missing person as well, which is a lot of this. There are a lot of stories out there, like real life news, I guess, like things that actually happen in real life, right? um, Terrifying events according, like, about home invasion that kill people, and then missing person as well. Like people got murdered and then they got hidden in somewhere else, right? So yeah, there you go. I guess there's that. But yeah, anyway, I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you again very, very soon, and see ya.